It is 10:01 and we're called to order.
Thank you.
All right.
Who's taking minutes here?
It's up to you. I can do it if you want. You want to do it?
You know, I'll take some notes. Maybe you take some notes and then we'll, I can write them up afterwards. You know, when I take minutes, I tend to be pretty fact-based and specific and record what needs to be recorded without
excuse me,
unnecessary.
So, yeah, Susan said something about sending them to Christy in Word format.
Okay.
And I have no idea why, but my computer, my personal computer, will not save a Word document.
Okay.
I've tried multiple things to fix it. I have to end up saving it as like a PDF or something.
Yeah, I can do Word. That's fine.
All right.
Okay, so let me pull up the agenda and we'll take a look at what we have here. Okay, so we called to order 10:01. Review the election outreach and communication strategy. So I pulled this into here just to take a look at it again, remind ourselves where we are. So this is the document that we had from the last meeting.
Right.
Talked about a flyer for election information. And we talked about distributing that on social media in the district website.
Yeah.
Which I think are, in my opinion, two appropriate places to share it because they're pretty open, right?
I think anything that we share, I think it's appropriate on the district website. We could send it to the towns if they want to put it on their websites, their social media pages, our social media pages. When it comes to like specific groups, I think we gotta be careful about that because if we send to one, then we should send to all of them. And I don't know who all of them would be.
Right. How do you identify all of them? You don't know, right?
Yeah. So I think the town related stuff is fine.
Yeah. Do we think we should send it to the Telegram or the item?
Yeah, that would be fine too. Yeah.
Okay. So we're saying that when sharing the town.
Yeah, I think town election is another place we might want to put something out. I mean, town election, town meeting.
Good point. So town clerks, right? Selectmen at the town meetings and social media and BBRC website and town clerks, selectmen, town meetings, social media. Yeah, I think the other thing we might think about is at the right time. It's a little early probably, but perhaps having Jeff share it as part of his Friday communication that goes out.
Yeah, I don't see that being a problem. I mean, it only goes to parents of current kids, current students. It's not like a whole town-wide thing, but it doesn't hurt to remind people that way.
And we leave it to him too to make that call if we wanted to as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be aware of it, right? In the course of being in school committee meeting, knowing that these are available. So if he chooses to send it out, then so be it. But yeah, I'm in agreement with you on being very cautious around any specific groups. Like I wouldn't even necessarily share it just with like a PTO. I think that you risk missing a group once you start sending it to specific groups.
Especially because, I mean, it's a school committee election, but it's not related to only school interested people. I mean, it's a town government election, so the entire town, whether they're connected to the school or not, should be involved. So that's why, you know, specific groups, even PTO, I mean, that's a focused group.
Yeah, I wonder if
they can certainly do anything if they want to, but
right. And now with the liaison roles we have, I sat in on the Tohoto PTO meeting this past week. And I don't think this topic came up, but it certainly would be something that as a liaison, I might share with them if they ask what we're working on. Oh, you know, we've got the elections coming up, we've got this, right? And, you know, that's kind of the approved process we've set for us to have those liaison. I think we've specifically identified those liaison groups that we've each been assigned to liaise with. And I think those might be in the course of those meetings coming up.
Okay.
So then we have an email that I'll share here too from the chair, which is sent on the 4th. Goes through a couple things here. One of the things is we talked about a public forum related to the elections, where school committee members would be available to answer questions and to talk about what it is we do in the school committee. Now, from a timing standpoint, you know, the election papers are going to be available sometime in April. And so she's suggesting that, you know, March or April might be the right time to do that. I think that's probably the right time to do that. And maybe at the school committee meeting on next Tuesday, we can ask, we'll throw a couple of dates out there and see what others have available.
Yeah, I think that should just be a part of the school committee meeting, not a separate meeting.
Okay. So there's an agenda item during the regular school committee meeting. I agree. That's a good idea.
Like, start it off with that. People who are interested come from the beginning, and then they can stay or go if they choose.
Yep. I agree. That makes sense, Mike. Coffee talk. So the Berlin Select Board confirmed that we are invited to the January 20th coffee talk at 6:30 p.m. I'm not available. I'm going to be in Cabo or coming back from Cabo.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. Can't wait. Leave next Saturday. So I think it's certainly appropriate for, I don't know if you're available to join that. It says it's by Zoom, Mike, on the 20th at 6:30.
Yeah, I can see if I'm doing anything that day.
Okay.
I got anything. That's another one of those things though, like I don't mind doing it, but what's the Boylston version?
Yeah, I mean, and it says here they're inviting us, right? So I'm not sure how that
I
kind
thought
of,
Susan asked and they said okay, but
Yeah,
okay,
I'm not
either
sure.
way. Yeah.
I mean, we did present to
Right.
both select boards back in November on the
Right.
election process. I don't know that Boylston has a similar session, but we could certainly check with the selectmen, see if they do.
All right.
In that case, I think you're right. Making sure we're available on both is important.
Or perhaps they advertise it to Boylston folks and they come.
Yeah, if it's a Zoom thing, you know. Maybe we can look into whether or not there is a Boylston equivalent prior to our meeting on the 11th. And if there is, we can include that in our report there too. And then the third thing that Susan suggested here is the bi-monthly Berlin senior newsletter, right? And she goes on to mention that, you know, seniors are a large population. She specifically mentions Berlin and include voters and potential school committee candidates, right? I think this is where your point and mine, and I'll echo it, right, around being careful about sharing information with one particular group that might not be indicative of the full population of the towns, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is probably something I don't think the subcommittee should do. You know, if an individual school committee member attended a meeting like that and wanted to say that there's an election coming up, I think that's their prerogative. But I don't know that we as a school committee or a subcommittee should be selectively sending information to groups like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit discriminatory just picking and choosing individual groups. I think the town pages cover everyone, so I think that covers it.
Yeah, okay. So then going back, I think that's all I would have for the first item, which is the outreach and communication strategy. That good for you?
Yeah, I like it.
The thing I wanted to pull up was the key dates and make sure we are always taking a look at when we have to do things. So, you know, we're still in this kind of community engagement and information page. We talked about sharing it right with local newspapers, school newspapers, newsletters, and through other community organizations. I think that's the piece where we're saying we're going to make it available at the town and to the towns. And if those groups want to, you know, grab it and report on it, then that's their prerogative to do so.
Yeah.
In the community Facebook pages, right, there's both a Berlin and a Boylston Facebook page. I think that,
Yeah.
you know, we as, given that I'm in Boylston, you're in Berlin, and we make up the subcommittee, we could both share it in the appropriate Facebook page from there.
Yeah.
Okay. And the thing I wanted to check is the date. So state notification. So this is the big date. And I think we should probably look to do this like now, as soon as we can get that notification over. I don't know if there's like a earliest date to do it, but it's assigned to me as the district clerk to get that notification out. So I'll take a look at that prior to the end of January. And so
it's no later than April 15th, but
Right.
it doesn't say, it doesn't say start time, so I assume you can do it now.
Because that's the thing that was missed last time, right? And this is
Right.
probably the most important thing for us to make sure we're doing. Let me just turn off my notifications.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing we have to be most aware of and cognizant of, is getting it into that on time.
Yeah, once that happens, they come back to you in the town clerk and you get the paperwork. I mean, that's pretty much it.
They got to be pretty quick on that, right? I mean, you think they would be, because the nominations are available in late April. So, you know, if we wait until the 15th, they'd only have 2 weeks to, based on this timeline.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust them.
So no,
I wouldn't trust them doing that. I'd say, yeah, let's start now.
Yeah, supply chain issues and everything, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, then everything else is later in these cases, not on us. So this is an interesting one. Okay, that's later. Okay, this is an important one too, back down in August, to let the
once papers are out and certified, right?
Back. Yep. Okay. So any other business or comments before we adjourn?
The only thing we haven't discussed, which we don't necessarily need to do now, maybe we can take it away and work on it, is the actual material to send out. So I think on that, if you pull up that spreadsheet of the engagement activities, right, it talks about a flyer, right? Somebody's got to design that. I mean, I can do that.
I think it's a flyer or more like a press release, Mike.
Yeah, it could be that too. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, Mike on that.
Yeah, I can work on that either way.
I want to say target for that is like 131.
Yeah.
This is done. Did that at the last school committee meeting. We'll bring this up to the board on Tuesday. And
Yeah.
it'll be added to an agenda item.
Ask for an item for what, April, the April meeting, or
Yeah.
March?
Added. That kind of, the fact that we're present participating is obvious because it's at a school committee meeting.
Yeah.
So this is, you already had this in here, right? Liaisons informing their assigned groups of the election. So I think that's appropriate. We can maybe say that happens by 3:31. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Questions from the public. And in this role, right, I think for me, we'd be sharing the same flyer / press release.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, within we can within it we'll have a link to the FAQ document.
Yep. I don't know if the FAQ document is up on the site yet, but it could be.
Yeah, it was approved by the full committee last time, I think,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Let's talk to Paul or whoever. Who's the webmaster? Who does the
I
web?
think Christy can add things too.
Okay.
Yeah.
We maybe want to have the press release before we put the FAQs up there, just because the FAQs might not address quite everything. I think we should wait to have her do that until the press release is ready.
Yeah, until it's ready, but we'll need it up there to put the link in. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's right. Yep. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, we don't have to make a public, put it live right now.
Right. So maybe this press and the press release, I don't know that even needs to go to the full committee for like an approval. If we write a press release and the subcommittee thinks it's good, we can submit it to the media and the towns as a press release, right?
Yeah, I think the committee already approved us to
be
communicate, right?
Right.
Without the full approval of everything, so should be all right.
Okay. Anything else? You want to set a next meeting for us?
Yeah, sure.
Get, calendar up here. When the governance thing is the 25th of January. It's probably a school committee meeting, what, on the 8th of February?
Is that what it is?
It's usually the second. Is it the first Tuesday or second Tuesday?
Yeah. I don't know. There's been so many of them. I'm confused.
I show it as February 8th. So if we wanted to meet the week before that.
Yeah, the week before that would be good. I'm kind of tied up the following weeks after that.
You do Monday, the 31st of January.
Sure, why not?
Then we can get that press, we make sure the press release is done and we can kind of give them a report then at the meeting on the 8th. Does 10 o'clock time work for you on the 31st?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
All right. All right, 31st.
Now I'll send you an invite before I forget. Cool. So no further business. We can adjourn at 10:19.